I think of like Cousin It.
Oh my gosh.
Or not Cousin It. Thing.
We're gonna try and stay on topic for this one, you guys.
Talk about
What's
the class engagement. How do we think class engagement went?
I think it was pretty good because about like every class we would do something with like a partner, like a randomized partner. So I think we were like very engaged with each other, and I think out of all the classes I had this semester, this one definitely like relied on group work. Not that like English 233 didn't, but
Well.
that's another story. But like in 210, like it's been consistent group work since like the beginning, whereas in like English 233.
Nat, I love you, darling, but we are not here to badmouth your other classes.
Anyway, not told. Anyways, the class engagement was pretty good.
Yeah, I have to agree. I did like that. I like that, and we were consistently with new people too.
Except for the pet shop, but
Hani's
Yeah.
note, she was right about 233.
She's like,
I concur.
but yeah, it was nice to like. Although the one thing I would have liked, because do you remember when we did the was it the Newlywed Game where we didn't spend any time like talking to it was me, Micah, and Madison, I think. Aww. It was fun though. We definitely learned more about people, but we didn't, because the whole purpose of a Newlywed Game is like, well, usually it's who's more likely to, but this one was how well do you know this person? And we never spend any time like actually getting to know these people, because questions were like, what color is their car? What color is their toothbrush? And stuff like that. Micah and I guess the entire time because we knew nothing.
and it's like those were kind of like those were super fun, especially because like a lot of us are in different classes, and we were all stressed, and she was like, fun game.
Fun game.
And we were like, yes, fun game.
Side note from someone who is not in the class. I love me some fun games.
I'm sorry, but like,
Games.
what color is their
I think it was
toothbrush?
pink.
Green.
No.
No? Oh, I'm usually not wrong.
What color is my toothbrush?
Pink.
He's blue.
I don't know.
You want to go 0 for 3? Purple. No, blue.
Jesus Christ.
So not green. What do you think?
Is it blue?
Purple.
Yeah.
Redeemed.
Well, it's just I can stare into Natalia's soul if I try.
Okay, so yeah, class engagement was fun. What's our feel about the breakout rooms?
The breakout rooms?
Yeah.
They weren't too bad. Sometimes people didn't really. There were like a couple people in class that if you got like paired with them, they didn't really talk, and they would have their camera on, but they never unmuted, so it was really hard to like get them to work.
Yeah.
Like especially like when we did the that like class lesson that we were supposed to teach the class and we never did.
Oh, we had such a good idea for that too.
Yeah, we had a French Mad Lib, and then the next class we were supposed to work on
Je mange les petits enfants.
it. And the two people in my group weren't there, and one of them
babies.
was one of the
I eat the small baby. This is a child development class.
no.
But yeah, I understood. That's why that's
Okay.
French
but,
Mad
like,
Libs.
But like one of the members was one who like had her camera on but didn't unmute, and so like we couldn't be like, hey, are you okay with this? Because she would never answer. So it's like sometimes the breakout rooms were like hit or miss.
Yeah.
I feel like that happens in like a lot of classes, though.
Just breakout rooms in general.
Group work is a lot easier when all the students are in person. When you do breakout rooms, it really does become super hit or miss.
Yeah. Like, for my, one of my other classes, this week, so we all separately did projects on the same topic, and then she put us into breakout rooms to talk about our topic, and like I was the only one who actually like talked, basically.
It's
The
like
other
that one
people
guy.
didn't even like turn on their cameras, so.
It's like that one guy in 233.
Eric.
Yeah.
Eric.
I love Eric. But he was so quiet during all of the group work.
He's
it was
so
like,
thoughtful. He doesn't speak unless he knows what he says is going to be meaningful.
Yeah.
Like in 235.
Yeah.
Eric. I did notice, like, at the beginning of the semester, he spoke a lot more.
Mhm.
But then once we shifted to the new
True.
classroom, like, you barely heard him talk.
He's also the only guy in a class filled with girls.
Yeah.
So
He probably felt
there's a reason why
intimidated.
Eric hides in the back of the classroom.
And he's also like a white guy in an early American literature course
We're all
filled with white femmes of varying levels of gayness.
and we're all talking trash about old white men the entire
Yeah,
time.
quite literally our podcast was just rich old white guys. We were told
Which-
off for too many rich old white guy comments though. So
Anyways,
Were we?
in class.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
Can we-
in class.
We need to like back away from like personally talking about them because it's about the literature. Like, well, most of what we read though is personal accounts by the rich old white guys.
Anyway.
Anyways,
what
so
did you think?
the breakout rooms. Yeah, they were hit or miss. I felt like there were some times where we were almost put in them too quickly, where like the directions weren't explained well enough. So by the time we got in there, we spent the first little bit being like, okay,
What's going
what
on?
are we supposed to do? So then we have to like find the PowerPoint that was sent. We got to read the directions again, and then kind of try and piece it together. And then like at that point, we didn't have any time to actually do what we were supposed to do.
Which class are we talking about again?
Right?
Right?
Yeah.
Um,
It's like how flashbacks.
which, like, I think,
More flash.
because didn't she say she used to have it twice a week and then it was like 80 minutes? So, like, I could understand it being like that. However, we only had 50 minutes 3 times a week. And so it was like, to me, it felt like it should have been one of those classes where it's like, boom, 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 we gotta get to work.
Yeah.
And so it would throw me off when we didn't do that.
Yeah.
Does it ever occur to you guys? Because I just realized, you have less time in your 2 long, like, you have less time in your 3
Yeah.
50 minutes
You
than you
get-
do in your 2 longs.
Yeah,
That's-
because you get
Mhm.
150 minutes versus 160.
That just hit me like a,
Lot of
oh,
bricks.
yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, so the breakout rooms were kind of hit or miss depending on what we were doing. So the next point that was kind of asked was like just the class overall, and I felt like I loved the class, but it felt like there were times where we spent more time talking not about child development than child development, which wasn't a bad thing because I loved all of our discussions and I felt like all of our discussions were beneficial, but then at the same time we would like have a quiz and then be like, what? Did we ever actually talk about this?
Yeah.
Not as a bad thing, but like,
Because, because I do like the introductions, like, in the beginning, because it does make me feel a lot more comfortable with everyone, because I'm a very awkward person. But, like, for example, I think it was either quiz 7 or quiz 8, we had barely gone over, and then it was like, quiz due,
I think.
8, and we hadn't even, like, we hadn't even gone over, like, most of the slides, and I was like, ah!
Yeah, the book, and then there were, what was funny though, you could find the answers on like the flashcard thingy, but they were all, instead of being for child,
Quizlet?
yeah, Quizlet.
It was
Instead of,
psychology.
yeah, it was all psychology instead of child development. I thought that was funny. Well, or, so Joshua is a child not a child, is a, he is a
Not a
child. He's a psychology major, and so I would like send him the pictures of our questions and be like, I feel like this is the answer, but then like the other thing is telling me a different answer, but I feel like this is the answer. And he's like, actually, it should be this answer, and I put it in there, and he's like, it says it's wrong. I was like, this quiz thinks it knows more than me.
Context for those who may not know, Joshua is Abby's boyfriend.
I think I mentioned it because I talk about how he has brain damage.
Ah.
Yeah, he has a hole in his brain.
Yeah,
Nice.
you told me because, yeah.
That's a thing.
I don't
He
remember
did
this.
gymnastics, and he was in the high bar, and then he went to go do a turn thingy, and he let go. I think someone had literally told him to let go or something. I don't remember. But he let go on accident and couldn't regain his grip on it. And he fell and he hit his head against a metal bar. And so now there's like a $50 size hole in his brain.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Nat, I don't know how to break it to you because you freak out anytime you find out. But I just want to remind you that literally everyone you know has some kind of trauma.
I know. It makes
His
me
is just
so
brain
sad.
trauma.
It makes me so sad.
You can't absorb the trauma of everyone around you.
And
Moving
stop
on.
it.
Please don't want to be in pain.
What?
Nat,
That was yours.
look me in the eye. Stop it.
Okay.
Good girl.
Overall class impressions.
You're gonna have to edit that
It
out.
wasn't weird until you made it weird.
To be fair, we were in Chillicothe, and you said it in the car, and you were like, wait a minute, no.
Deidre would be okay with all that.
You're gonna have to edit this.
I'm so sorry, Deetra.
We've been secretly calling you by your name behind
Not
Behind your name?
We've been calling you by your first name this entire semester.
Deetra, you don't know me, so I feel vaguely comfortable calling you Deetra.
I really like your first name, so that's why I say it. Because it sounds so cool.
Deidre. It reminds me of the girl from Spy Kids.
Isn't that Carmen?
No.
Isn't it
Well,
Carmen?
yes, but no, from Game Over. The one that wasn't real.
I don't remember Spy Kids.
I thought the guy from that one wasn't real.
No.
George Lopez.
No. That is a different movie.
That's Shark Boy in Love.
Oh no!
I'm so
No!
confused.
Moving on.
How did you feel about the class?
I liked it. My only stipulation with it was the Petra groups. I personally believe we should have been able to pick our Petra groups because randomized groups doesn't always work out the way you want it to. Like, we both kind of didn't have the best groups. And I tried to communicate with my partner, and I thought I had communicated as simply as I could, like even rephrasing it for her. And she did something totally opposite and did not tell me about it. So it kind of threw me for a loop. So I think if we had been able to like get to know some people in the class and then pick our groups, I think it would have been a lot more enjoyable for some people.
And probably have a better outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already talked in length about my Petra group, so we're just not going to get into that.
Yeah.
I mean, for our 233 group, I really liked how she like sent out the survey and grouped us
Yeah.
together
Who would
based
you
on our
like to work
strengths.
with? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's really effective, especially like where half of us are online and half of us are in person.
Hey,
We've got
just
5 minutes. Okay.
steal my thunder, why don't you?
Oh, okay. Well, I was say that's basically the last question. I was just like just well, it said goals, but again, my goals were not about the class.
Yeah, your goals were basically to not die.
And somehow you failed.
I failed. You're still here, so I don't think
Well, I ate enough to survive. That's what I thought was funny. That Deetra's big thing would like if someone was eating during class, she'd like applaud them and be like, "You're eating food. I'm so proud of you."
Meanwhile,
it was
Sounds like Soya.
yeah, same. I would wake up 5 minutes before 11,
Me too.
and then I would not eat until like 2 o'clock.
Well, it's a big thing with college students is, like, most of us don't eat breakfast. And then a good deal of us, if we have late classes, don't eat a real dinner. And that's terrible for us. So, applause to you, Deetra, for applauding your students for taking care of themselves.
Thank you.
Well, my thing was what made it more difficult this semester was like I was always having back-to-back things. So there was like never a time where I could just stop and go get something and eat it because I would go. I had morning 9 a.m. or at 8 a.m. class. I had a little bit of a break, but then I kind of took a nap usually, and then I had 11, an hour break that I did was doing homework. 1, 2, and then I had work usually, or I went to other work. Where it's like so I don't have time to do anything.
Yeah, my Thursdays, I would, so we had 9 to 10:15 we had class, and then I had work from 10:30 to 1, and then I had a class from 1:30 to 2:45. So on those days, I would literally like, so I would always eat a Cliff Bar for breakfast because, like, I have to eat in the morning. But then like I would just grab something super basic for lunch. So
Sometimes I just forget to eat because I don't feel it.
So I'm gonna say
That
this,
too.
and I'm the dad friend, so you're gonna call me out for this because the
Yep.
the hypocrisy is real. I don't-
very much real.
I don't think I've eaten breakfast in a month.
I don't anymore just because of the weird times that I'm on.
I mean, I know that they say breakfast is your most important meal of the day.
Well,
or
it's like
whatever,
for
but,
your
like,
metabolism
like
and
it's
shit
fine.
too.
Should we do a conclusion before time runs out?
I think we're
Well,
out of time.
you have 3 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
You've got 3. Yeah.
In conclusion, I'm gonna miss you, Deetra.
Me too. You were one of the most positive professors I had, and I really looked forward to class every day, even if I was having like a bad morning or just a bad week. You always had something nice to say, and it was very nice.
Right?
Yeah, because
I loved it.
same, and you were one of the only like professors we were, at least in my classes this semester, we were able to be closer to, even though we were virtual.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I felt like teacher was very good at like getting personal with our class, where like she maybe sometimes it was a little too on rare occasion, but like I like that
I can
that
relate to it though.
right? So, like, where she felt open enough to be able to have these conversations with us.
At least Deetra never told you guys about the time she was on Dr. Phil. Not that you were ever on Dr. Phil, Deetra, but I've had professors who were and don't stop talking about it.
Oh jeez. Okay. That was a fun semester.
Yes.
Let's do it again sometime.
Yes. We'll see you later.
Sign off.
Bye. Bye.
Do I just press the red one again?
Yep.
Okay.